They didn't deserve this. No one does.
And now
Hey,
a
yeah.
dragon. Some people lost their homes.
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Llewellyn, the woman who led us all.
You're here to help? Or are you taking over?
I'm not taking over. Solus fooled the Inquisition. He fooled me. Your team stopped him. And your team is dealing with the gods that escaped.
So you've heard about them?
Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elganon and Gillenane.
I won't let you down.
Don't worry about me. Worry about the people you've recruited, and about the people depending on you. I'm asking you to take down a pair of gods. You're not going to be able to do that if you're worried about my approval. But if you listen to your friends, and remember the people you're fighting for, you'll get through this.
We've got the makings of a good team, I think. We'll do our best.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
I have a team, but not much in the way of forces. If there's any military support you can spare.
I'm sorry. Our forces in the south are stretched thin already. And I'm afraid the Grey Warden leadership doesn't think much more highly of me than they do of you.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette. We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solus's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him. Somehow.
Solus is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
Solus is trapped in the Fade. He's not my biggest concern at the moment.
Solus is trapped in your dreams, and while he cannot match Elganon or Gillenane in strength, he is far more cunning. He is the Dreadwolf. He led a rebellion that lasted centuries. How many times do you think the gods thought him trapped and helpless?
Solus was important to me. If this statuette helps you understand him, if it uncovers something that... Honestly, I don't know. I wish I did. But this feels like a part of him. And whatever he and I once were, I think... I hope... it might help you.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
father gives me an allowance and I barely use any.
Get ready to fight.
Let's see what you got.
An ogre.
Hey, messing with the blight boils made it mad.
We need to stop it.
Rook needs a second. And Rook takes that. Behind you. Got company on the right. Now. Not too bad.
It's down. And another sample.
Seems like enough to me.
Yeah. Let's get back to Evka and Antoine. Light gummed up the entrance. I think we can cut through.
What happened, happened. Can't change it now.
Yeah? Antoine? Antoine!
Yes?
Yes, the blight samples. They're like nothing we've seen, or anything in the Warden records. And I almost hear voices in it. The gods calling the blight.
I can't hear anything. But if you believe me...
We knew things were bad. But if the Blight's being called, the situation's more unpredictable than we thought. We need to...
I give you two reign, and this is where it leads. Chasing Rook's lies.
First Warden...
Stay away from the Blight and the Wardens. How many times must you be told?
Until you listen, I'll be here.
Not helping. Rook knew something was wrong.
I can hear it in the samples. The gods. He's telling the truth. The blight has changed, and that changes everything.
It changes nothing. Your sensitivity to Blight is useful, Warden Antoine. But you've had more than one snake in your ear.
He's trying to help.
Enough! You tampered with a ritual that unleashed Blight. You did not know what you were doing then, and you don't now.
If gods control the Blight, we need to change how we approach it.
Archdemons control Blight, and we'd sense if one had risen. We'd make the sacrifices needed to fight it.
But we...
The Blight has increased. Now is not the time to lose focus. Wardens Evka and Antoine, are you sworn to combat the Blight?
Yes, but...
Then report back to Weishaupt and do so.
That went poorly, even for a talk with him.
What an asshole. A lot of people are gonna die for his arrogance.
Maybe.
So much for convincing the Wardens.
We can't give you the order, but you have us.
We'll keep tracking the Darkspawn and the Blight. We'll do what we can.
And if we learn the gods' plans, you will too.
The elven god of monsters had been hard at work. She'd taken the Darkspawn and made them so much worse. Now, she and Elganon had their glorious new army. The risen gods were ready. And they had just the target.
We should take a break. Head back to the lighthouse for a bit.
He finally agrees to meet for a report, and he all but calls you a liar.
Rook, just got word. First Warden's calling everyone back to Weishaupt. Everyone except me, seems like. Guess the First Warden didn't like me joining your team.
Calling Wardens back from all over Thedas is a big step. Did he give any reason why?
Not exactly, but I've heard rumors of a massive Darkspawn horde on the move. Even hearing there's an Archdemon with them.
The timing can't be a coincidence. The gods must be behind this.
I bet they are. Rook, if the gods have an archdemon, Warden lore says archdemons only show up during a blight. Doesn't say anything about elven gods. Seems like the rules have changed, and we're going in blind. We need to know what we're up against.
I'll talk to Solus, see if he knows anything about any of this. Make sure the others are ready to move.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here. And I did. Sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Also that. It's kind of mean.
You should remind that thing who's in charge.
That's an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways. So, if you're powerful, like almost God-level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Really condescendingly, based on experience so far.
Right! You wouldn't ask questions, you'd tell them what to do, so let's try that. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. It came later.
What or who is a Forgotten One?
The bad gods, or so we were taught, told never to speak their names. Elgranon, Gillenane, they were the good ones that you could pray to. But now we know the truth about the Evanuris. So we don't know for sure what the Forgotten Ones were, I mean. They used to say Solus was one, so best case scenario like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive, tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fen'Harel.
You have a chance to learn more about your people. Go for it. Just be careful. And try not to break anything.
Right. Thanks, Rook.
All thanks must be given to Anaris, for he will cast down the oppressive Evanuris and take his rightful place.
What a shame I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
Carving monsters, huh? Didn't figure you for an artist.
This? It's by necessity. If you know your enemy, their weak spots, maybe you live another day.
You've got a flair for the dramatic.
Nothing scarier than the real thing.
What would he do with it?
Standard bestiaries are always some mage drawing things they've never seen, taking the piss out of it. They don't understand how when the hunt ends and you come nose to nose with an ogre, someone's going to die. So I'm making the real Monster Hunter manual.
Just remember, it's spelled R-O-O-K. The hero who took down the gods.
That chapter's going to be mine.
Where's the Gloomhowler?
Can't carve it till I know what it is. You want a piece of the Howler, boy?
Is he ready?
Was I ready the first time I fought a Hurlock?
Well, you're still alive.
I got my ass handed to me. Broke 4 ribs and cracked my jaw. Then I got back up and drove a blade through its skull. In this line of work, Asan and I are only as strong as the quarry we hunt.
Makes sense. He'll learn to fight by fighting.
I don't know another way. Out there in the world, you sink or swim.
Can a half-lion, half-eagle swim?
Don't know. Asan?
Which half was that?
Search me. Both halves share the same stomach.
Right. See you around.
Good taste.
Strength earns mastery. Need and knowledge.
You cannot do this, Algernon. You swore that we would give up our commands when this horrific war was over.
Our people need our leadership. If you're unwilling, leave.
Our people must rebuild, and we must help unite them.
So, we did not fight for freedom, but to conquer this land and our own.
We fought to win, and now the Evanuris are as gods. I do not answer to Mythal's annoying lapdog.
The people are afraid. They must believe in something.
They need strength.
And wisdom.
They need gods who can protect them.
We are not gods. You will learn that.
Every lapdog hides a wolf inside.
That was strange. They were speaking Elven, but I understood it.
I believe we have experienced a memory in each of our native languages.
Not just any memory. One of the Dreadwolves.
And the mages who declared themselves my gods. Well, mine and Davrin's.
Anyone see anything in that memory we can use?
Elgranon was hungry for power. Did anything he could to get it, and to hold on to it.
Then Solus, furious at Elganon's installing himself as a despot, started his rebellion.
There's another moving part in this. Mythal. She was keeping the peace.
Mythal and Solus were close. The Inquisition found a temple to Mythal, and there were wolf statues everywhere.
Then she sides with Elgranon over him. A betrayal.
It sounded like Solus was loyal to Mythal. What did Elganon call him? Mythal's lapdog? And then she grabs power alongside Elganon instead of standing for her principles. I'd be angry too.
Angry enough to start a rebellion?
That's not how he'd see it. He didn't destroy the world. Elganon did. Solus did what he considered necessary to stop him.
Solus would try to justify what he did, but he'd also blame himself for what happened.
Perhaps these murals aren't simply memories. They're what Solus wishes to forget.
His regret. That means they're a way to learn his weak points.
Why are we worried about Solus? He's trapped.
Right. But the Dreadwolf was the god of trickery. He's looking for a way out. Bet on it.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes open in the crossroads. If there's a way to restore the rest of these murals, Solus would have kept it in his hideaway. It'd be nice to get inside his head for a change.
How fares your battle?
The gods are moving against Weishaupt and the Grey Wardens. We've heard rumors the Darkspawn are being led by an archdemon.
And you have questions?
I need to know how archdemons relate to the gods. Are they just like the Blighted Dragons, or are they something else? I also need to know how to deal with the gods if they show up at Weishaupt.
I propose a bargain. I will answer your question if you answer mine.
What?
How are the Grey Wardens? Do they understand the truth of the danger yet?
No. The First Warden still refuses to listen.
As I feared.
I tried diplomacy, I tried being firm. Nothing worked.
When I asked why you should be trusted to lead the fight, you said that nobody else was doing it. That sufficed for me. But you will need more to convince the Grey Wardens. They see themselves as destined to lead this battle. You cannot defeat Elganon and Gillenane without the Wardens. What will you do to bring them to your side?
All I can really do is keep trying to get through to them.
Have you ever ridden home in a wagon and felt the streets go from paved to dirt beneath the wheels? The horse is slow, and everything grows quiet as you're near home. What do you call that feeling?
I don't really have a word for it.
No, you do not. Elganon destroyed that emotion. He burned it from the mind of every living being. There were spirits of that feeling, just as there are spirits of joy, or fear, or despair. I begged them to fight.
What happened to them?
They waited too long. Without the emotion in this world to focus on, they faded until nothing remained. When you grow quiet, it is a part of your soul reaching for a feeling and finding emptiness. Because I failed.
I understand. I'm not going to fail.
How? What will you do?
Whatever it takes.
Easily said. But it will have to be enough for now. You have answered my question, and I owe you an answer in return.
Yes, the old gods of Tevinter, the archdemons.
There never were Tevinter gods. The archdemons, as you call them, were always merely the weapons of the Evanuris.
All right. Let's hope we can find the gods before they find their weapons.
Unfortunately, the Dragon Thrall's life force is bound to the Evanuris as both power and protection. You will not be able to kill or likely even harm one of the Evanuris until their Dragon Thrall is slain.
What can you tell me about the archdemons themselves?
Each is different, shaped by the whims and ego of its master. Elganon is the Lord of Tyranny. He would have ruled alone had Mythal not forced him to share power. Those who are strong, he molds into dictators themselves, with visions of godhood. Those who are weak, he crushes. His archdemon reflects him. It is huge, to feed his ego, the epitome of dragonkind, bent to his will.
What about Gillenane and her dragon? Pride and ego can blind someone. We can exploit that.
By contrast, Gillenane was a servant of Andrul, whose skill at making monsters earned her promotion to the Evanuris. She is brilliant, ambitious, and unconstrained by anything you would understand as morality. In a kinder world, you would never need to see what she has done to her archdemon. In this world, I only hope you kill it quickly. In any event, the Evanuris will not be vulnerable until their archdemons are dead.
Any other surprises we should know about?
Even with their dragons dead, the Evanuris are powerful and well protected. You will need to use my dagger, the one you recovered. It can pierce their enchantments and strike them down.
All right. Kill the archdemons, then use the dagger to take down the gods.
Even a single opportunity to strike the Evanuris down will be rare, fleeting, and costly. You will not have another chance to catch them unawares. When you strike, you must be fully prepared. was not certain you would come.
You were the one who walked away. I never turn my back when my friend needs me.
The Evenuris seek the magic of the Blight.
Impossible. The Blight is safely sealed away forever.
Though I wish I could believe you. I have sensed the breaking of the wards.
I will investigate your claims. If they forget the danger of the Blight, I will endeavor to remind them.
What if, instead, you left the Evenuris and remained with me? Do you not wish for freedom from this struggle?
Be at peace, love. I will stop them.
As you must. The Blight is our mistake.
Did Mythal call Solus love in that memory?
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it. The elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they expressed things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
Whether they were doing it or not, Solus cared about her. That's what matters.
So the Dreadwolf goes to Mythal. They might be fighting, but they have history.
And he warns her about the other gods using the Blight. That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Mythal didn't think it was possible. She said the Blight was sealed away. There's an old legend about it. Davrin, the one with Andrul's armor. Not sure it matters.
We're deep in elven lore already. What's the legend say?
Right. Well, Andrul was the goddess of the hunt. She put on armor, magic armor, made of something called the Void, drove her mad.
I remember this one. The other gods were afraid Andrul would turn on them. She was doing all kinds of horrible things, causing plagues. It does sound like the Blight.
Well, it all ends with Mythal fighting Andrul. After, Mythal turned into a dragon.
She what? Why didn't you start with that?
Anyway, she took Andrul's armor away. Then Andrul's madness left, and peace returned.
Intriguing. So it's possible Andrul stumbled onto the magic of the Blight.
And when Andrul went mad, Mythal took it from her and locked it away.
Until someone started using it again.
The Blight's one of the only things that really scares Solus. He came to Mythal afraid.
And she took it seriously, too.
So Mythal goes off to investigate what Solus says. Then, what? It's too clean.
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
But this isn't just a memory. It's something Solus wanted to hide. What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
I think I might know. When the Inquisitor was saving the world from the breach, she met Mythal.
What? Like in a dream?
It was complicated. She helped the Inquisition. There was a magic pond and a dragon.
Nice.
The point is, she also said the other elven gods betrayed her, killed her.
Okay, sorry. Point of order. If they killed Mythal, how was she still around to help the Inquisition?
Elven god magic? She'd spent centuries gathering strength and sharing people's bodies, I think.
If it was a truly benign possession, that speaks to her character.
Solus tried to do the right thing by warning Mythal about the other gods using the Blight, but he got her killed.
Well, it's not just that she died.
What do you mean, Tosh?
It's... Ugh. There was stuff he wanted to tell her, but he waited too long, and then she was dead. He never got to make it right. That twists you up.
That's it. There's our crime.
Doesn't really tell us anything we can use, though.
We know more than we did. That's something.
Then I guess we keep our eyes open if we come across more of these memories.
offer, Dweller, I will answer.